Hey everyone. Ooh, that last clip. That was a clip of a dad at one of the many sentencings of Larry Nassar, the gymnast doctor, the USA gymnast team's doctor, who was accused of molesting over 200 children over his career. And that was a very hurt and upset and angry father of one of the survivors, who at one of the sentencings of Larry Nassar lost it. Or should I say, he found it. I'm sure for those who have children, and even those who don't have children, who love children, if you can imagine what it's like finding out that your child was being sexually taken advantage of. In fact, there was one of the victim's father, if you go back, a lot of this came out in 2017, but if you go back, because the gymnast, the young lady, was telling her parents that this doctor, that Larry Nassar, had been molesting her, and they wasn't believing her. The parents were not believing their daughter. And when they found out that her accusations were indeed true, apparently he had been collecting child pornography for years. And then he was clearly engaging in child sexual abuse. And one of the dads who did not believe, you have to understand, everyone, this entire case, when I think about how this is continuing to happen, it happened to me. And I guess what's really touching for me is that this was a father that responded, where in my case, of course, it was my father who was molesting me, but this was a trusted physician that was molesting the children, and the father's response, and that's a whole other road down what ifs. But anyway, Larry Nassar was convicted and sentenced to many years in prison. In one state, he was sentenced to 60 years. In another one, he was sentenced to 75 years. Another state, he was sentenced to 145 years. But the first case that he was convicted of was for possessing child pornography. Now, here we are. So in 2017, all of these noted gymnasts start reporting, and interestingly enough, they were reporting publicly. They were sending tweets. They were going on Facebook. They were supporting each other publicly. But it turns out, we as the public, of course, you don't know the whole story for cases like these. And he had been reported for years. And between the USA Gymnasts Association and the FBI, they mishandled the case. So here we are today, 2021, and actually 2019, between 2019 and 2020, but of course, because of, what we're dealing with, what we dealt with in 2020, it was put off. Here we are today, Simone Biles, along with some of her other fellow teammates, have testified in court against the FBI and the other governing bodies that failed them. So I'm going to play the complete clip of the father who attacked Larry Nassar. In fact, I'm going to watch it with you. I'll just watch it with you. And then we'll continue with the video. And if you haven't already subscribed, please make sure you do that. I'm going to start a series along with my normal questions and answers and my cooking and my vlogs. I'm also going to include just analyzing and talking about cases like this. As someone who was a part of one of these cases that essentially end up being sensationalized to a certain degree, because you never really know the whole story. I have been approached by people have commented, communicated with me, thinking that they know the whole story from news reports, and you really never know the whole story. So after this, when we come back from watching this clip, I'm going to talk more about how everyone was criticizing Simone Biles for taking personal time, for taking time to take care of her mental health, and not even considering that she was still dealing with the impacts of the sexual abuse from Larry Nassar. And not only that, she was preparing to go and testify against the FBI. But no, everyone is talking about she needs to stick it out and this and that, and so the general public, they see things through the media. And so I want to go more into cases that have been reported on in the past, cases of sexual abuse, of alleged sexual abuses, and really kind of open up a discussion on how we as communities, how we as the public receive this information, and why is it that our first motions and remarks, if you are not a survivor, is to judge and criticize. Interestingly enough, I'm going to get into the rest of the video, but interestingly enough, even throughout these accusations against Larry Nassar, one of his victims criticized one of the other victims that had come out publicly and told her that, well, she shouldn't dress provocatively, only to find out that she was also molested by this sick man. So, okay, now the video.
Thank you for letting us hear your voice.
Judge, what a distraught father have a chance to say something.
Go ahead, sir.
You son of a bitch.
No, we don't want to swear.
I would ask you to, as part of this sentencing, to grant me 5 minutes in a locked room with this demon.
Demon, yes.
I have.
Would you do that?
That is not
Yes
how
or
our.
no?
No, sir, I can't.
Would you give me
do that.
1 minute?
Notice the
You know
girl's
that I can't
nervous
do that. That's
smiles.
not how I legal system.
Well, I'm going to
I mean, you're actually rooting for him. You're rooting for him because he's very angry. He's extremely angry, and there is always a quote that I defer to by Benjamin Franklin. Justice will not be served unless those affected are just as angry as those who have not been affected. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and also check out part 2 where I speak about Simone Biles' testimony.